Yo, what is going on? Hope you are well, wherever you are, whatever the damn time. It's super early in the morning. Well, see, when I say super early, there's going to be people like, hey, Elliot, I get up at 4:30. Okay, but this is super early for me. It's 6:30 in the morning, not 23 minutes past 6. And I need to film a YouTube video this week. And I thought, you know what, let me take you through a day in the life. Last YouTube video was a training video. Today I'll show you some meals. I'll show you what I've got planned today. It's a rest day today. I've got physio today. I'm also going to Prague in 3 days. So there's a couple of things I need to get sorted for that. A couple of things being get the hair sorted out. I'm going to miss the open bodybuilding pre-judging, but that's all good. I'll be there for the finals, etc. on the Saturday. On the Sunday. Is it Saturday? Yeah, it is. It's the Saturday prejudging, Sunday finals. I actually do need to still book Austria to go to Adam's show. That needs to happen really today, because that flight will be within the next 9 days. First things first, every time I get up, what I do is I get into the office and I start the process of vacuums, because as I've said to you in the last couple of videos, midsection control and size is something that's really important to me going into my next season, and that's something I really want to work on. Not that my midsection's horrendous, right? Not that my waist is completely blown out, but I think if you have a really good waist and really good abdominal development, it just makes you look so much better. Your X-frame just gets so much better. So in the morning, I'll start off with 10 rounds of vacuums, and I'll basically just hold those for about 10 to 15 seconds. I'll do it in a couple of different positions. So I'll do it leaning forward on my desk, basically, and then I'll do another position where I'm just standing up. When I'm standing, it's a lot harder to get the TVA sucked in, but essentially with a vacuum, what you're trying to do is contract your TVA, pull your belly button towards the back of your spine, basically, which is hard, but obviously it makes sense to do it now when I'm fasted, because I haven't got any food in me. It's going to be a lot easier to control then. And I think keeping this up in the off season, especially as body weight goes up, is going to be so crucial. It's easy to do it in a prep, right? When you're eating 200 grams of carbs a day and your body weight is down. But in the off season, where body weight's up, you're eating 4,500, 5,000 calories a day. That's when you need to still be able to control it, because it's so easy for things to get distended. That happens this morning. I also do my mobility, so my stretching. So that is this beauty right here, my Go Wad. And guys, all I do is 8 minutes every day. You have the option, right, of 8, 15, and 22 minutes. I just do 8 minutes every single day. So many people come to me with the excuse of, I haven't got time to do my mobility. I can't do it. But I'll do anything with bodybuilding, but I just won't do my mobility. Bro, it takes 8 minutes. What are you doing for 8 minutes in the morning? You probably get up and you probably stare at your phone and you scroll, and then you complain about how you have no time. Do you know how quick 8 minutes goes? So I do that. And again, like if I have a bit more time, you can do 15. The more you can do, the better. But do what you can stick to. There's no shame in doing 8 minutes. People think that doing that would be pointless. If you do 8 minutes every day over a year, it makes a difference to your physique. To go off on a tangent, I've noticed a huge difference in my training using GoWOD. And funnily enough, I've noticed it the most on my leg day, because I used to do the pivot leg press, right? The Cybex pivot leg press. I would always, and I mean always, ping my lower back on that leg press. Not really even going that deep. I would just ping my lower back, and my hips would be awful in that position. Since being consistent with this app, no niggles. I can train pain-free. I have no issues when I train. Obviously, alongside that, I have my physio as well that I see once a month. But yeah, so I'll do my GoWOD, and then I'll also get back to any messages that come in overnight, so from clients, and also I still have my prep guys checking in. So Alex, Ollie, and Pratik this year are the last of the guys on prep this year. Alex post-show, Ollie post-show, but we'll check in daily all the way through until the end of this month. And then Pratik, he's 3 days out from his show. So obviously comms is very important. It's important that they're quick. And that's another reason why I think if you want to be a really good coach, you got to be up early and available. People need to know what they're doing for the day, adjustments that need to be made, especially on prep. And obviously Pratik is in India, right? I am going to need to be up a lot earlier on the Saturday when his show day is. He'll be on stage like 11 a.m., which I believe is about, let's see, so about now actually would be when he'll be on stage. So I'd need to be up a couple hours beforehand, potentially even more. We'll obviously have a baseline plan for him to go with initially. He'll send photos fasted, then I'll make any adjustments if I need to. But that's part of coaching. When people are on prep, when you're coaching people in different time zones, you got to be there, you got to be up, which means sometimes getting up in the middle of the night, sometimes staying up super late, sometimes getting less sleep. I think a lot of the time people think it's this glamorous thing of I just get loads of clients and make shitloads of money and I can just go on holiday whenever I want and I can just train whenever I want. But if you really care, it's important that you're there and your comms are really good. So yeah, it's not an easy job, but nothing is if you want to be really good at it. Do you know? But I think people sometimes try and get into coaching because they think, oh, that seems like a bit of a doddle, like I'll have a bit of that. But if you want to be really good, it requires your utmost dedication and complete mastery, learning as much as you can for years on end. And anyway, enough of that. So I'm going to get back to some clients and start off with my vacuums and mobility before going downstairs and getting hydrated. All right, that is everything done that I need to do so far this morning. Cardio ticked off, prep clients checked in, and I also ended up booking and sorting out my hair stuff as well. So that is all done. Now I'm just going to make meal number one before I get into some content. I was just watching Joe Gann on YouTube, and I've been watching a few of his stuff or a few of his videos throughout his contest prep, and he made a really good point, which I'm actually surprised and annoyed that I didn't mention it in my post-show video, which was about just sustaining your routine post-show, because a lot of the time people will finish their show or their season and they'll almost just bin off all of their behaviors that they've been doing throughout prep, whether that's steps, whether that's cardio, whether that's their posing, whether that is their training, whatever it is, just their habits, whether that's tracking their food. Habits just go down the drain. And the annoying thing about habits is once you just don't do that for a week, it's an uphill climb to get that back. So you want to maintain those habits. Now, obviously, they're going to be down-regulated ever so slightly because you're no longer in a prep. So, for example, you don't need to do a round of posing after every single meal, but there still needs to be an element of check-in. There still needs to be an element of, we still should be weighing out your food. You still should be having structure with your meals. If you lose that, it just makes the off-season so much harder. So definitely agree with the point that you made there, which is just maintain that routine. For me, having cardio in is really good for my routine and really good for just how I feel day to day. It's huge. Make note of how you feel pre-cardio and post-cardio. You can do the same with weight training. Make note of how you feel pre-training and post-training. It's probably quite different. So that's partly why I have that cardio in still as well. And it just feels like you've accomplished something in the morning when that cardio is still there. But meal number one, which is going to be a staple through this off season, and it's going to be much better than that meal one that I showed you in the past 4-day of eating video. So just getting the bacon medallions on just now. There's going to be 4 of them, along with 3 eggs, a bagel, and a kiwi, and 15 grams of jam or honey with beetroot as well on the side. So I'll obviously show you that once it's all ready. I think it is a really good idea for you to get those fats up post-show, just to aid in your recovery. Fats are involved in hormone production, which if you're natural, hello, like you're gonna need to get those back into a decent spot, because being bloody 6% body fat is not conducive to optimal hormone production. So yeah, get those fats back in. So whole eggs and your avocados, your salmon, like get those back in. And obviously I'm talking about your unsaturated fats, right? Your fats are actually going to help with that rather than your trans or loads of saturated fats as well. But that's something that I've done with clients, not only for the benefits of hormone production, but also having a bit more variety in your diet. If I do have clients that are doing, if it fits your macros, it's really hard to have variety if you're eating 40 grams of fat a day with 450 grams of carbs, right? So get those fats a little bit higher to allow for that food variety. It will also probably settle down your food focus a little bit as well if you do have those fats. Fats should get to a place where they're decent and you can have that food variety, and then they should kind of just settle. You obviously don't want to be going excessively high on your fats because it's going to slow down digestion, and especially if you want food to obviously go up, which it likely will do in your off season, you want that primarily coming from your carbohydrates. Something I had to say to a client the other day, because his fats are just too high. He weighs about 85 kilos, and on a few days his fats are exceeding like 100 grams. This is where there's a difference between somebody who's just lifestyle and somebody who actually wants a favorable body composition. If you're in a surplus and you're taking in an excessive amount of fats, that is just going to be stored as fat. That's not going to be really stored as glycogen. Carbohydrates in a surplus will primarily be stored as glycogen, which is going to help you with your performance. This is why we also just primarily focus on increasing carbohydrates in a surplus when you're a bodybuilder, as opposed to just taking in all the food as much as you can. So, for example, when you look at strongmen, right? So I know I used to watch Brian Shaw's full day of eatings, right? Where he had like 10, 12,000 calorie days, or I think even the Stoltman brothers, like they have videos out of what they eat throughout the day. And the difference with them and bodybuilders is they just get calories in. They just need calories in. They just need to be bigger human beings because it's going to help them with performance. Of course, they're taking in a lot of carbohydrates as well, but their fat intake will easily exceed 100 grams every single day, easily. Like the amount of whole eggs that they're consuming, the amount of oils, and obviously they throw in things like Brian Shaw would throw in like cheesecake, and he has a lot of red meat, a lot of bison, stuff like that. Like if you're eating like that as a bodybuilder, you're not going to get the composition that you want. So this is where your macros matter. So I would find your fats, recover, maybe drop them a bit down after you feel fully recovered, slightly, and then just play with your carbohydrates. That's really it when you're a bodybuilder. So there is meal number one. We got one golden kiwi with 3 whole eggs, 4 medallions, 1 bagel, 15 grams of jam, 50 grams of beetroot. Much better than the meal one from 2 videos ago. So I'm gonna get this down and then get on with a little bit of work just before physio with Christian, which has been a godsend, just having that monthly physio. And yes, it's an investment, but it's made a huge difference. As I said this morning, in combination with the Go What that I've been doing, which hasn't been an extensive amount of time each day, right? It's only 8 minutes. But that in combination with the physio is just, yeah, amazing. It's so important because one of the tricks to being very good in bodybuilding is being able to train for a very long time consistently. If you are just getting hurt every 8 weeks and you can't train for 2 weeks because you're injured, the person that can just train year round, even if they're training is actually less efficient than yours in terms of how hard they train. If they can just stay in the gym, they're going to build more muscle. It's just about being able to stay in the gym. Something that Alberto Nunez said on our podcast as well with Adam, it was in sports, the most important part is with these kind of strength and conditioning coaches is not how strong you can make the athletes. It's we need them to be able to play every single week. If they can't play, we're losing money. We're literally losing money. It's the same in bodybuilding. You have to be able to, not the money part, you got to be able to stay in the game. And if you really enjoy something and it's important to you, surely being able to do it for a long period of time means a lot. I had someone message me the other day saying, well, have you noticed the benefits of mobility? I'm like, you shouldn't need to ask that question. That's like asking a football player or a rugby player or pick your sport basically. Have you seen the benefits of doing this? Well, yeah, it keeps you trained. It's part of the process. Like you can't be a professional footballer without doing the physio, without doing the rehab work. It seems boring, yes, and of course it doesn't translate immediately, but you got to think long term. You got to think in years. And I'm not 18 years old anymore either. But if you can start this process and treat bodybuilding like that when you're that young, it will make a big difference. I'm obviously 30 next year, right? So body's not recovering the same. I still feel good. I'm not an old man, but it's not the same as being 18 and being able to like literally cat cow your deadlift and then just wake up the next day as if nothing happened. You have to be a little bit more mindful when you get older and when you've already got a decade behind you of training. So anyway, let me eat this meal and then I'll see you for meal number 2. I'm also going to give you an update as to what's happened with the weekend because both Brian and myself are now done with our competitive seasons. All that's really left is like Christmas and family visits and that sort of thing. So, and the year's basically done, right? Speak of the devil. Come on, don't be shy. There we go. Hey, 500. Oh, yeah, I forgot you can't eat cold food. I can. I can eat cold food. Here she comes. There's not. That's why I buy 4 packs. Snooze, you lose, me. Oh, actually, that's something that I wanted to say. Her competition was in Wakefield, Ossett to be specific, and we have a new favourite town. It's called Dewsbury. If you're from Dewsbury, I'm sorry, Dewsbury, but probably the worst place I've ever been to in the UK. I'm not joking. I think it actually is the worst place in the UK. I think it has to be in the top 5. This flat that we were staying in, my God, and it's just such an isolated place. You just feel like you feel like you're in the middle of a zombie apocalypse, and you're in a safe house. It was just awful, just an awful place. Again, apologies if you're from Dewsbury, but oh yeah, that's the town that's famous for the guy that plotted the London bombings, the 7/7 bombings. Yeah, he plotted that in Dewsbury. And Shannon, what's her name? Shannon Matthews. How can such a small town have so many atrocities come from it? But then you walk around, you're like, oh, okay, that kind of makes sense. It's just an awful place. Nothing can beat being in a decent environment. Feel like you're just so glad to get back to Manchester, to be honest with you. Anyway, see you for meal number 2.
Oh, it's me.
That's you.
Hi guys, welcome back to the vlog. Just stopped.
Stop it. Talking differently. Hi guys, welcome back to the vlog.
I've luxury hot chocolate and he's got avocado.
A what? Yeah, a little pit stop. Before my physio, I thought, you know what, let's spend a little bit of time together rather than just wandering around each other the entire day. Let's spend some time. So we're at Cafe Nero in Chiltern because I've got my appointment in about 30 minutes. I've got a cortado, little cortado.
Isn't Ricardo that food?
Ocado is literally a food shop. Cortado, and I've also got my meal with me, which is going to be some beef and rice. I'll probably actually eat that in here. Beef, rice, spinach, sauerkraut, 375 grams of rice, 130 grams cooked weight beef, 100 grams of spinach, 30 grams of sauerkraut, ketchup. Easy. Have that, have my physio, head home, do some more work. Chiltern's nice. Chiltern's another area in Manchester I could happily live in. Great transport links, overpriced coffee shops, and a Dixie chicken. All right, we're back from the physio, and we're about to have meal number 3. It was good to catch up with Christian. Great guy. Check him out. Flux Sports Therapy, I believe, is his full handle on Instagram. Oh my God. And meal 3 is going to be cream of rice. 125 grams, 45 grams of whey, 100 grams of berries, and 20 grams of dark chocolate. One of the dark chocolates, though, is 99% from Lindt. When we went to Leeds over the weekend, we went to the Lindt store, got some 99% dark chocolate. 99. And it's delicious. It's so good. And also, it's got some Lindt. Let me show you, actually. I might be able to see it from this. So the 99% is hidden under the berries, but this is like a waffle chocolate as well from Lindt, which is fantastic. So yeah, get this meal in. We announced Talib joining the team as well, Team Power, which is really cool. He's obviously had incredible results this year, particularly with Will, who won, I think he won 5 trophies this year, first places, predominantly in the teen class, and then he also won a classic title as well at the MBW International. 17 years old for most of the season, which is ridiculous. Literally a child, which is mad. And he looks amazing. And Talib's obviously done a great job with him. He's on board the team now, and that's exciting. I think what's unique about this team at the minute is we're all pretty decent bodybuilders. I think that's quite rare with a lot of coaching teams. I'm not trying to talk any rubbish or smack, but I feel like a lot of them, it's all in on coaching and then you almost forget about your own process. So I think that gives us something unique, to be honest. And 2026 is going to be great. And it's just going to be fun. Like, we all get on well. Talib is obviously just down the road from me as well. We've got a great opportunity to make some content, create some good memories as well. So that's going to be amazing. This meal, some work, mostly content. I've got 2 calls this evening, 2 consult calls. And that's about it for the rest of the day. And
You're coming for a walk with me later.
yeah, we'll go for a walk a bit later. Of course, we've got some steps to finish. We'll have a nice walk. And we're also going to start watching Chernobyl, the TV series, this evening. We started watching that Ed Gain series, and first 2 episodes, banging. Great couple of episodes. And I think it gives you a decent insight into what that guy was. And then it kind of just gets silly. It just gets a bit dumb and almost just becomes a bit of a soapbox, like a bit of a drama. It kind of loses the appeal of those documentaries. You having a good time with that mop? The hell are you doing by that elliptical?
You can actually wash in gaps and skirt boards. Get it off me. Compared to the other one, you can only go straight and you can't twist and turn and get in the... I've managed to It's so much fun.
All right, Mary Poppins. All right, guys, I'll see you for meal number 4.
Put your hands behind your back while we try and listen.
Oh, God. What the hell is... Hi, guys. So we're back for... Oh, my God. So we just got off a call this evening. It went fantastic.
So my competition, I'll be very honest with you guys, about the day that went well was...
I'm making the last meal, guys. Meal 4, I didn't actually talk you through it, which was oats. 100 grams of oats, some whey protein, some blueberries, 150 grams of blueberries, 45 grams of protein, 100 oats, 3 rice cakes. And this is the last meal. We've run out of rice, so I'm going to have to make a replacement and use some pasta.
What are you going to use tomorrow? We're doing a food shop tomorrow.
Right. Yeah, I had a call this evening. I was supposed to have 2, but I had a no-show. And
You got charged for your consult calls. You should put down. They should put down a deposit, and if they don't show, they lose their deposit. But if they do show, then they get the deposit back.
Yeah, hello, mate. I'm really, really interested in coaching. I want this so badly, and they don't show.
Did you listen to what I just said?
I did.
If they feel funny about paying a deposit, then that's a sign they're probably not going to show.
They're probably not going to even pay for coaching, to be honest. Yeah, there you go, guys, from my business coach.
You're busy enough now to set that standard.
All right, yeah, meal 5. A little bit later than I would typically have this meal, but all good. And obviously changing it up a little bit, so pasta instead of rice. I haven't had pasta in so long. Tomorrow, what is the plan tomorrow? Food shop tomorrow. I've got a leg day tomorrow, which is going to be my quad session tomorrow. And we're also recording a podcast. And we've got... Will this podcast be out by then? Oh, I'm sure there'll be an announcement, but we're interviewing Toyton, which is going to be amazing. He will likely win his IFBB Pro card over this weekend, I think. So we're interviewing him because he's obviously had a great season, and also he's a genetic freak. I've never actually spoken to him, really. He competed at the WMBF show in Classic, but we're going to interview him for the podcast tomorrow, which should be cool. But anyway, I'm going to finish cooking this meal, and then I'll show you what the last meal of the day is. All right, guys, final meal is here, which is going to be this beauty right here. It's quite a weird combo, to be honest. We got 115 grams of spaghetti with 250 grams raw weight chicken with about 150 mil of passata. That's the tomato sauce. There's veg in there. I haven't tracked the vegetables. It's like a stir-fry veg. There's carrot, spinach, and some peppers in there. And then I've also got pineapple, 100 grams. That's going to be the final meal of the day, which is basically just replacing chicken, rice, and pineapple, basically. So just a slight change in carbohydrate source and including some tomato passata. So going to get this meal in. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. It's been a pretty busy day, but just got some steps to finish off, about 10 minutes worth, and then I'm going to head to bed. So appreciate you watching, and I'll see you for the next one, which is going to be the Prague vlog.